Hey guys, it's UniverseX here. I'm back with another reaction video, and today, guys, I'm reacting to The Downfall of Brooklyn Guy by SML Universe. So, this is actually the first time I'm reacting to one of his videos. I don't normally react to like a lot of SML themed videos. I mean, I watch SML sometimes, but I don't usually do reactions. But since I saw some SML reactors that or people that I'm subscribed to react to this video, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna check this out for myself. Like, I didn't actually watch the videos, but I just, like, saw the thumbnails, so I wanted to check this out for myself. And, yeah, just to be honest, guys, I'm gonna be for real, guys, Brooklyn Guy is literally one of the baddest characters in SML, in my opinion. At first, in the beginning of time, when he was a character, he actually was pretty decent. Like, the thing is, Brooklyn Guy went from being a side character, like, a pretty decent one. Sure, he had a few, like, aggravating moments here and there, but he was good, okay as a side character alone. But to now, he's literally like the main character in every single SML video. Like, even for example, in one of the most recent ones, Jeffy and Stitch, which should have been titled Brooklyn Guy and Stitch, because Jeffy only had 1 minute of screen time with interacting with Stitch. The rest of it was all Brooklyn Guy. And the thing is, and for the other big reason is because Brooklyn Guy has like the biggest amounts of filler in every episode. Like, all he just does is he talks and talks and talks and talks and talks about shit that doesn't even relate to what's going on. And don't get me started on the Nintendo videos about his animated life. I can't stand those. They have no purpose in the videos. But enough of me yapping. Let's get into this video and see what SML Universe has to explain. And hopefully some of this will actually be connected to what I say. I'll probably pause the video a few times just to kind of like explain, like, if he's onto a part that I'm really onto. That makes a lot of sense, but yeah, so anyways, let's get right into the video.
Guy has had one of the wildest rises and downfalls in SML history.
Yeah.
Once a fan favorite, now he's one of the most disliked characters.
Yeah.
But why
Straight
did
up.
fans turn on him? To answer that question,
Because he's
we're going
gotten
to take
so
a look at his
filler.
first appearance and learn what made him so likable back in his prime. Brooklyn Guy was first introduced in SML short Stuck in a Tree.
July
And in this
20th,
video,
2011.
he was so much different from his usual self we see today. He was voiced by Logan's friend Noah instead of Poopy.
Oh,
and he was actually
really?
trying to do his job for once, which
Yeah.
made him a pretty likable character.
Yeah, but now he
right
just takes
off the
everything as a
bat.
freaking joke. He never takes his job seriously anymore.
But since he just appeared in one video, everyone pretty much just forgot about him. Though not for long, because in 2014, SML decided to start a new series,
the Summer
called
School series.
School. And in this series, Brooklyn Guy came back as a firefighter again. And this is where Poopy permanently took over the voice. This time, he actually got some personality to his character. In this video, he calls
I'm the
himself
Brooklyn firefighter.
swears a lot, and in general, fans
Yeah, back
started
then he
loving
actually was pretty
him.
funny.
So SML decided to put him in more and more videos.
I'm the Brooklyn
But here we go. I'm here to help.
What are you
People doing here? There's a fucking fire in here. I mean, not immediately, you're not surrounded, but get out of the corner. Come on, let's go.
Get out of the corner. What are you doing? Come on, let's go.
Brooklyn Guy mostly stayed a firefighter until the Summer School series ended. But when
Yeah.
it did end, he started getting
We
all
don't-
the
we
jobs
barely
he
even
has
see him as a
today.
firefighter anymore.
A notable video to look at would be the Call of Duty Blackout. And we
Oh,
can
yeah.
see from this video
He's
forward,
a
instead of having
repairman.
that excited, ready to do his job type voice he had in his earlier videos, his voice started to change to the broke middle-aged dad we all know and love today.
Oh, it's me, it's me.
No,
And
I'm
yeah,
the
that's his
electrician.
old
This
son.
is my stupid son.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dad.
Oh, well, why is your son with you?
Because it's bring your child to work day,
This only made fans love him even more. So rather than being a minor character that would appear once in a blue moon, he became more of a side character in the show.
Yeah.
And this leads
A
us to the
decent
prime
one.
Brooklyn Guy era, which was 2017. In 2017, he wasn't getting overused like he is today.
Yeah.
And he
They
was
did
actually a
him
funny
all right in
character.
2017.
But that isn't even it, because he actually had a ton of lore to his character. In SML movie
Which
The
we
New
really
House,
need.
Brooklyn Guy
The thing is, I am saying this constantly. The other reason why I don't like him is because how does he have this many freaking jobs? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, if Logan can actually do a video that actually, like, shows his entire backstory, then maybe I could actually appreciate Brooklyn Guy a bit more. Like, after all, Jeffy's 21st birthday is coming up in a few months, but since we kind of got the closure to Jeffy's backstory last year in his 20th birthday, I feel the next video on August 21st could actually be centered around Brooklyn Guy, because if you know, Jeffy and Brooklyn Guy share the same birthday. So in that video, to celebrate August 21st, it could be centered around Brooklyn Guy this time, and then we can actually get some lore behind him. This is a theory, but I don't feel this is going to happen, but I feel like this should happen. Even, hell, it doesn't even have to be a birthday video, like a birthday or a video on his birthday, but it can just be any video that can just really explain, like, how it is he got all these jobs. Like, we need an explanation on, like, his past life, like, with how he got all these jobs. Like, if we can get something like that in SML, I can maybe appreciate him a little bit more.
He mentions how he has hundreds of different brothers.
Bowser, this guy.
Yeah, like, how do you have this
Whoa,
many...
this guy? I have a name.
Like-
My name is Brooklyn Guy. This guy is my brother.
What guy?
No, what guy is my other brother?
What-
I got this guy,
like-
what guy, the guy,
The
a
guy,
guy.
what guy?
I also got a Chicago guy,
Chicago- yeah,
Manhattan
like,
guy.
all the guys.
This goes on.
Or-
San Francisco guy.
Yeah, San Francisco guy.
Disco
yeah.
guy.
Yeah,
Oh,
Miami guy and
Miami guy.
Usually in SML,
Idaho
there's
guy.
no canon. But later
Like,
on in the
bro,
video,
we need an
Brooklyn Guy's
explanation of that.
showing them around the house as a tour guide. And when we get upstairs, he shows them the
But yeah, but
secret
that back
door.
then, this
He tells
wasn't
them
him. That was his
upstairs, he shows them the secret door.
Yeah, that
He
was
tells
actually
them
Does
whatever
Bad
they
Things, guys.
do
His
not
only
to go
identical
in
twin.
there. This was left as a mystery in the video, which left everyone wanting to know what was in that door. And what was in there was about to completely change our perception
Yeah.
of Brooklyn Guy
The
and
many
added
people
a
who
whole
died
new
in the
layer
house.
of depth to his character. Because 7 months later, in SML movie The Secret Door, they go inside of it and
Yeah,
find
all
out
the
that
26
26
people that
of
were
the
murdered in
previous
this house.
owners died in the house. And Brooklyn Guy was revealed to be a psycho murderer who killed anybody
But it was
who
actually
opened
his
that
brother.
door. Okay, wait. Back to him having a million brothers. Brooklyn Guy wasn't actually the psycho murderer. It was his only identical brother
Right.
Does Bad Things.
Well, not really, because he also has a guy named Makes Bad Decisions guy who looks a bit like him, except his eyes are just, like, more, like, psychotic looking. But he's just as bad as Does Bad Things guy.
The amount of lore that goes on with Brooklyn Guy in these videos is completely different from anything we've seen in SML before, with The Secret Door being one of the most popular videos on the SML Reuploaded channel, with over
Yeah.
10 million views, which really shows how much fans loved the lore with Brooklyn Guy.
Yeah,
and
this
connected
episode
with
was
his
highly
character.
weighted,
So
was
with all
highly,
these
like,
things combined,
hyped for
Brooklyn
it
Guy
back
was
in the
in
day.
his prime
Now it's hyped
and pretty
for it.
much made every video he was in a banger. But things wouldn't stay good for long, because in
Yeah.
2021, when Logan switched to his 4th SML channel,
Yeah, that's
things
when
started changing, including the characters that appeared in videos and how often they did, which is when Brooklyn Guy got his first video named after him, and
Yeah.
after that got a lot of views. SML
Yeah, and that one honestly had every right for him to be the main character, because again, it was called, he was the main title of it.
started using him more and more, making him into a main character.
In
Just
every
to put this into
video, that
perspective,
even doesn't even
in
involve him.
2014, which was the first year that Brooklyn Guy started to really show up in videos, he only made 14 total appearances.
Oh, wow.
And in 2021, he started to become a main character, and he made 94 appearances that year.
Jesus
which means
Christ.
Brooklyn Guy only didn't show up in 7 videos that year. But at least at this point, he was getting more depth added to his character in these videos. For example, we actually started to find out more about his home life with Karen, and that he was actually the father of Penelope.
Okay, and this is something else that people are not understanding. Brooklyn Guy is not actually Penelope's dad. Because if you guys remember, in SML movie Career Day, Penelope hired Brooklyn Guy to pretend to be her dad so she could pass school. So she can basically pass Career Day at school. That's why Penelope lives with Brooklyn Guy, because he basically pretended to be her father. I want you guys, I just want everyone to know that Brooklyn Guy is not actually really Penelope's father. She just hired him to pretend to be her father for Career Day. That's what it is.
Which shocked viewers since he looks nothing like her.
Exactly.
Brooklyn Guy was turning out to be much more than just a guy with every job. But it wouldn't stay this way for long, because in 2024, he once again started to appear in more and more videos, which shouldn't be a problem in itself, but it started to become a trend where Brooklyn Guy would only show up in videos to add filler.
Exactly.
And the way they would do this most of the time is with Nintendo,
Nintendo animations.
which would go on for minutes at a time
Minutes.
and barely relate to anything the video was about.
Exactly.
He was pretty much just the new Jeffy at this point.
And I also did mention this before in my reaction video to one of that guy's videos who I forgot his name, but he did like ranking SML movies of the month. The same thing also kind of went down with Ronald McDonald, because every time when Ronald McDonald appears in a video, he has to take up like 5 minutes of the freaking video just talking to Steve Spielberg about his personal life that literally no one asked about. Literally, like, he just talks about how drunk he is, how he got, like, laid off or something like that, or just talk about, like, trying to, like, rip people off or something like that from other restaurants. Like, Ronald McDonald has the same problem, honestly, just like Brooklyn Guy, and I feel like there's other characters, too. But, I don't know. But that's just another thing I want to point out. Like, Ronald McDonald is just as bad as Brooklyn Guy, but Brooklyn Guy is the main filler character.
And this is when fans started noticing all the filler and started complaining.
Yeah.
Funny how Brooklyn Guy became overhated so fast. At this time, it pretty much just felt like SML was cranking out 10-minute videos for the sake of making more money. And they used Brooklyn Guy as a tool to get that 10-minute mark on every video. One of the worst examples of Brooklyn Guy being completely unbearable in modern day SML is an SML movie, The Avengers of D, where Marvin calls Brooklyn Guy to help him get rid of all of Rose's exes that invaded the house. And instead of doing his job and progressing the video and its plot, Brooklyn Guy just starts literally yapping for 4 minutes straight about his completely unrelated
it's like, bro.
Oh man, please answer.
Hey, Marvin, what's up?
Hey buddy, I need
I'm
your
glad I
help.
never
So
watched
my
that
wife
show.
has
I can't stand. Again, I can't stand any of the blonde bitch's ex-boyfriends. I'm talking about Rose. So, yeah, like I can't stand. The only ex I actually do not hate is her first ever one we saw, which was D Money. He was the only ex I actually have respect for because when he challenged Mario or Marvin to get Rose's to get Rose to stay with him, when D Money found out how much Rose truly cares for him, D Money actually let Mario win the battle against him. So he actually gave him a chance to beat him, so he can actually be able to be with him. Which honestly, I respected him for that. But all the other ones like Super D, Super Big D, Crush, and the Surfer guy, and also Randy, I just hate him so much, like literally. And also Rose is also a big hypocrite for her exes, like against Marvin. But I'm not gonna get too off topic. I'm getting a little too off topic, so let's continue.
Oh, me, buddy! We really are buddies, aren't we, Marvin? We're best buds!
Yeah, it just rambles on endlessly. Nothing to do with the video.
Holy yapping session from Brooklyn Guy.
Yeah.
I was losing my brain cells from listening to
Same.
Brooklyn Guy. Pumpkin Guy.
Yeah,
Brooklyn Guy
Pumpkin
started
Guy.
becoming unbearable to sit through in these videos. Top that with
God damn it!
unbearable
Alright, guys, I'm
to
back.
sit through in these videos. Top that with the addition of him obsessing about
Yes, the Jimmy Butler shit. Oh my god.
Fans started to get
Like,
really
just
tired
get the
of this
hell
guy
over
and
it,
the direction
bro.
They were taking his character.
Even my dad is not like that when he watches the freaking Bruins games. Like, you know, the Boston Bruins? Even my dad isn't like that.
And SML started noticing this, so they decided to upload a meta video based on him being overused.
That comment was the
And
last
this was
straw.
basically just
You've
to
been
mock the
overused.
fans
You
who
did 17
hated
of the last
how
20
Brooklyn Guy was
videos.
filler.
So, you can't get
This
no-
basically does show that Logan knows that Brooklyn Guy's filler, but it's like he doesn't care. Like this, first I was looking at this, I was like, yes, Logan, you're speaking facts. But then I'm like, wait a minute, I'm starting to know where this is going. Logan's basically just mocking the fans or mocking the critics of saying that Brooklyn Guy's filler. Like he knows. Logan knows this apparently. This is confirmed that he knows.
Aye, right? You're always gonna need a cop or a doctor or a firefighter.
Videos based about you don't do very well. The Dalmatian got 2.1 million views in 3 days.
He went from being one of the most loved characters that SML has ever seen to one of the most hated
The
in
most
just a couple
annoying
of
and
years.
unnecessary.
And instead of being the comedic relief for a lot of people, he's just straight up filler now. So what can
Which is
SML
also why I made him he's a villain in my series, because to show how much I absolutely hate this guy.
do to make Brooklyn Guy a better
And
character?
I'm sorry I keep pausing, guys, but it's also show that he also has done criminal and villainous acts. Like, again, I've said this before, this man actually has the job of a robber, but he's a cop. Like, does that make any sense? No, it doesn't. It really does not make sense.
Here again. First off, they need to slow down the Nintendo
Yeah,
animations.
straight
They don't
up.
need to completely remove them because some of them are still funny, but it
Some
feels like
are funny, it
almost
just
every
depends,
video
but-
has one of them now, and most of the time they barely relate to the story at all.
Yeah.
Second, Brooklyn Guy needs to go back to being a side character.
Yes, please.
Right now, he feels like the new Jeffy,
Yeah.
always showing
He's
up.
literally the main
often
character in
without
every video that
purpose.
even isn't
And
supposed
while he's
to be
great in
centered around
smaller
him.
doses, when he's the main focus, the videos tend to drag and feel repetitive. And speaking of Jeffy, Brooklyn Guy recently has actually made Jeffy a worse character, because nowadays when Brooklyn Guy comes over to yap on the red couch in a Jeffy video, after the intro they often shift away from Jeffy onto Brooklyn Guy, which
Yeah.
results in Jeffy becoming completely overshadowed. And he often just sits on the back of the couch staring into space and making
Exactly.
faces. Brooklyn Guy has pretty clearly had a big downfall as a character.
Big,
But
straight
it's not
up.
all bad. As of recently in the Squid Game series, Brooklyn Guy had a clear role.
I didn't watch all of them, but
He was
in the
involved in
finale, he
action
had
and
his
actually
annoying
made the
appearance at
videos
the
more
end. He kept saying that every
That's how
contest
Brooklyn
was
Guy
just to
should
eat
be
dinner or
used.
something.
Not just as filler, but as a character who actually enhances the story. SML clearly knows how to write great characters.
Do
They've
they?
released some amazing videos over the years, but lately, it feels like they've fallen into a formula.
Yeah.
One that prioritizes views over creativity. One of the reasons Brooklyn Guy hit his peak back in 2017 was because there was no strict formula. They just made videos based on what felt fun, not what would rack up the most clicks. If SML could get back to that kind of variety and spontaneity, I really believe Brooklyn Guy could have a second prime. And
Yeah.
it's not just him. We could see more characters like Woody, Shrek,
Woody,
and
Shrek.
even Dougie return in more meaningful
I don't like Dougie,
ways.
honestly.
SML could
AKA
feel
Black
fresh
Yoshi.
and exciting again. Back then, you'd never know what to expect from an SML video, but now it's the opposite, and that predictability is what's dragging Brooklyn Guy down.
Exactly. Alright guys, so yeah, like literally Brooklyn Guy, honestly, he needs to get improved. Like the thing is, again, he's too filler. He literally becomes like the main character. Like again, like the video, there could be a video called like Junior something or Cody something or Jeffy's whatever. Like it could have like Jeffy's name, Junior's name, or Cody's name, like to be the main character. And then the second Brooklyn Guy were to show up, he would become the main character in like in every single freaking episode for like almost 10 minutes straight and just yapping on endlessly. And again, he talks about the same stuff, like always about like his ex-wife, like bro, just dump her or divorce her or whatever, and even the Jimmy Butler crap, just okay, like at this point, bro, you're being too overdramatic. Literally, he's even a little kid. Like he has like the most childish behavior. He never takes his job seriously. And what else? And again, he also has done some criminal or villainous acts throughout his life. There have been moments in that, which is again why it's also why he's a villain in my series, because it's to show that he is actually kind of a bad guy because he has done some bad things in his life, and also to show how much I absolutely hate him because of his filler character. So yeah, guys. But honestly, this was a great video made by SML Universe. Maybe I'll try to react to some more videos that maybe catch my attention. Maybe if like there's any videos I see Eglorious or King Lagerfeld react to that are stuff like this that I see, I'll probably react to those too. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of it. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna end this reaction right here. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe for more. It really helped out a ton, and I will see you guys in the next video.